we continue reading from Sri Isopanisad. Sorry, we are on, I'm sorry, not Sri Isopanisad. We are reading from Caitanya Caritamrita, Adi-Lila, Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhatta Vrinda, Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhatta Vrinda, Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhatta Vrinda. So we are on Adi-Lila, chapter 4, text 34. We are continuing with the purport. I'll just read the translation. Krishna manifests his eternal human-like form and performs his pastimes to show mercy to the devotees. Having heard such pastimes, one should engage in service to him. So we are hearing about Krishna's feelings, what he was feeling before he came as Lord Chaitanya, his internal mood, his internal reasons for coming. He wanted to show us this most intimate, loving, spontaneous love that the Brajvasis have for him and he has for them. And he wants to attract our heart with that. The saying that the human form of life is the best position for devotional service has its special significance because only in this form can a living entity revive his eternal relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The human form is considered the highest state in the cycle of the species of life in the material world. If one takes advantage of this highest kind of material form, one can regain his position of devotional service to the Lord. So, this human life that we have been given is a great gift, is the best position for engaging in devotional service. And see the significance only in this form is specified. Prabhupada's word choice is very specific, only in this human form. So that's why this human form is so valuable. There are 8,400,000 species of life. And to get this human life is very, very rare. It's not easy. It is our good fortune that we have this human life at this point in time where Lord Chaitanya came only 500 years ago. Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita only 5,000 years ago. So we have all this. Because of Krishna's love for us, he's left behind these things for us. And he's given us the holy name. Why? To revive our eternal relationship with him. Revive. We have it. We just have to revive it. As we just said, it's not artificial. It's not we have to create. We have to establish a new. Establish. It's not saying establish. To revive is there. So we need to take advantage of this human life. Then we can regain our position in relation to the Supreme Lord. Incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead appear in all the species of life, although this is inconceivable to the human brain. The Lord's pastimes are differentiated according to the appreciating capacity of the different types of bodies of the living entities. The Supreme Lord bestows the most merciful benediction upon human society when he appears in his human form. It is then that humanity gets the opportunity to engage in different kinds of eternal service to the Lord. So Krishna, he has so many incarnations. We've been reading in Bhagavatam. So many different expansions, incarnations, Yuga avatars. Then he has Manvantar avatars, Leela avatar. So he appears in every Yug, Treta, Kal Yug, Satyug, Dwapara Yug. Then he's coming at the change of every Manos. Then he has Leelas, so many Leelas he's performing. So they are Leela avatars. Then there's Shakti Avesh avatars, where either himself, or a living entity is empowered for a specific purpose. So many, I forget one. Anyway, there are 6 categories. And they are said the incarnations of the Lord are like waves in the ocean. We can't even count. They're innumerable, unlimited. We can't count all the expansions and incarnations of Krishna. And why is he coming? Why is he coming? For our benefit, to tell us about him, to tell us about ourselves, and to attract us and take us back home, back to the spiritual world. Now he comes not only in the human form. We know he came as the fish in the Matsya avatar. Then he came as Kurma. He came as Kurma for the churning of the ocean. Then he came as Varahadev also in the body of a boar. So like that he comes in all the species. We know just a few, but here is mentioned he appears in all species of life to attract those species, to attract everyone, because all species are living entities. But the most merciful incarnation is when he appears in human society, takes a human form. Why is that? Because then he gives us an opportunity. He gives an opportunity for living entities to engage in a loving service with him. There is more opportunities for reciprocation. Special natural appreciation of the descriptions of a particular pastime of Godhead indicates the constitutional position of a living entity. Special natural appreciation for the descriptions of a particular pastime of Godhead indicates the constitutional position of a living entity. So somebody might be attracted to a particular pastime. This could indicate their constitutional position, but it should be confirmed always. And it's always revealed. The more we hear and chant, everything will be revealed. Adoration, servitorship, friendship, parental affection, and conjugal love are the 5 primary relationships with Krishna. The highest perfectional stage of the conjugal relationship, enriched by many sentiments, gives the maximum relishable mellow to the devotee. So each and every living entity has a natural loving relationship with Krishna, and it's said in 5 ras, in 5 mellows. Either the relationship is an awe and reverence, neutrality as adoration, which is very prominent in Vaikuntha planets. Then in servitorship as a servant. Then in friendship, Krishna has so many friends: Sridham, Subal, Stoka Krishna, Madhumangal, Arjun Sakha. There's so many friends Krishna has. These are all in Golok Vrindavan, in Krishna Lok. Parental affection, we see Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda Mai, all the different elderly gopis, and conjugal love. Conjugal love is the mode of the gopis. So the conjugal love is the highest perfectional stage, because in conjugal love, all are included. The love which friendship is there, as caring as parental is there. So the love gets sweeter and sweeter. So all the mellows are there in this conjugal love. The Lord appears in different incarnations as a fish, a tortoise, and boar, as Parshuram, Lord Rama, Buddha, and so on, to reciprocate the different appreciations of living entities in different stages of evolution. The conjugal relationship of amorous love, called Parakiya Ras, is the unparalleled perfection of love exhibited by Krishna and his devotees. So Krishna takes, we just said, in so many different forms: fish, tortoise, boar, Lord Ramachandra, Parshuram, Buddha. He comes, and in each there is some reciprocation with the devotees, but the highest reciprocation, the perfection, is when Krishna exhibited his pastimes with the gopis in Parakiya Ras, amorous love. We spoke about it a few days ago. Parakiya Ras is that the loving love which is exchanged between Krishna and the gopis in the mood, and that mood is the mood of a paramour. Krishna is the paramour. So which is the lowest in this material world is the highest in the spiritual world. In the material world is the lowest. For a married woman to go off with another man is the lowest. But in the spiritual world is the highest, because this material world is a perverted reflection, and material world, our dealings are based on lust. So we are not able to understand the love. We're not able to understand, oh, how could this be love? Because we are seeing it through the lens of lust. So a class of so-called devotees known as Sahajyas try to imitate the Lord's pastimes, although they have no understanding of the amorous love in his expansions of pleasure potency. There are certain people, especially, there are many in Vrindavan also, they're called Sahajyas. And they try to imitate that, okay, that I'm Krishna and I have so many gopis and girlfriends, so we can, have a relationship. This superficial imitation can create havoc on the path for the advancement of one's spiritual relationship with the Lord. Material sexual indulgence can never be equated with spiritual love, which is an unadulterated goodness. So this is just creates havoc in society. In fact, it harms the faith of the innocent, and it should never be indulged in, and it should never be encouraged, and we should never take part in this. Because it's nothing spiritual, it's just based on sex, which is material. There is nothing spiritual about it. The activities of the Sahajya simply lower one deeper into the material contamination of the senses and mind. Krishna's transcendental pastimes display eternal servitorship to Adokshaja, the Supreme Lord, who is beyond all conception through material senses. So Krishna's transcendental pastimes display eternal servitorship to Adokshaja, the Supreme Lord, who is beyond all conception through material senses. We cannot understand Krishna through our material senses. Adokshaja, we cannot understand him through our material mind. We need, because right now we are impure, right? All our material senses are impure. So what do? We have to hear and chant. The more we hear and chant, the more we will get purified. Our senses will get purified. Then we will be able to understand Krishna and his pastimes, not otherwise. Materialistic conditioned souls do not understand the transcendental exchanges of love, but they like to indulge in sense gratification in the name of devotional service. So many people say, oh, Krishna had 16,100 wives. Why can't I have many girlfriends? Why can't I dance with many women? Krishna did it. I can do it too. But that is nothing spiritual about it. It is only our lusty desires which are making us do these things, nothing else. And this kind of things will continue to keep us in this material world. We are not understanding Krishna in truth. Only a devotee can understand Krishna. Krishna reserves the right. He does not reveal himself to the people who do not want to know him. He is very personal to everyone. He's very private also at the same time. He's as Paramatma in everyone's heart, but he's very private. He does not reveal his own person. It's only when somebody really wants to understand him through this mood of servitorship. What is this mood of servitorship? By hearing and chanting, we are serving the Lord. Hearing and chanting. Devotional service begins with hearing and chanting. The activities of the Supreme Lord can never be understood by irresponsible persons who think the pastimes of Radha and Krishna to be ordinary affairs. So many people like to talk about Ras-Lila or the relationship between Radharani and Krishna, but this is not bona fide. It cannot be understood by just ordinary people. This subject matter, even Srila Prabhupada never spoke about this publicly, never in public lecture, never to anyone would he say. He would say, I'm not qualified to speak about it, although he is very qualified. But because we are not qualified, so we can't indulge in it. The rasa dance is arranged by Krishna's internal potency, Yogamaya, and is beyond the grasp of the materially affected person. We can say, oh, one boy, so many girls. How come? What's happening? Somebody can say that. Oh, one boy dancing with so many girls. I want to do also. We don't understand. All these gopis are Krishna's internal energy. They're all expansions of Radharani. Who's Radharani? She's his own internal energy. So Krishna is just having pastimes with his own internal energy. It's not anyone else. But when we are materially affected, we are not able to understand that. Trying to throw mud into transcendence with their perversity, the Sahijas misinterpret this sayings, Tat Paratvena Nirmalam and Tat Paro Bhavet. By misinterpreting Tad Drishihi Kridaha, they want to indulge in sex while pretending to imitate Lord Krishna. But one must actually understand the imports of the words through the intelligence of the authorized Goswamis. Srila Narottam Das Thakur in his prayers to the Goswamis has explained his inability to understand such spiritual affairs. So there are so many, we see so many people who call themselves devotees. They hold Bhagavad Saptaha, hearing Bhagavatam in 7 days, and what they're talking about? All Ras-Lila, nothing else. Where is the pastime of Krishna creating this material world? That is all Krishna's pastimes. How he's creating the material world, how he's putting us living entities inside. As Varahadev, how he's lifting the earth. As Kurma, how he's becoming the foundation for the churning of the ocean. No, they don't want to talk that, but only Ras-Lila. But that is, we are not, we don't even understand what it is. So how can we even speak about it? Srila Narottam Das Thakur, he's a great acharya in our line, a great acharya. He has sung beautiful bhajans, amazing bhajans. And what does he say? Rupa Raghunatha Pade Hai Be Akute Kabe Hama Bajuhaba Se Jugala Piriti. When I shall be eager to understand the literature given by the Goswamis, then I shall be able to understand the transcendental love affairs of Radha and Krishna. This is a very beautiful bhajan. In other words, unless one is trained under the disciplic succession of the Goswamis, one cannot understand Radha and Krishna. So understanding Radha and Krishna is not a cheap affair. We have to go through the parampara. We have to, because then the heart will be really purified. The mood will be pure mood. Not that, oh, I want to enjoy Krishna. Then we are looking at Golok Vrindavan and our feet are still in pig stool, as Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to say. Sorry, then we are using Krishna for our enjoyment. Then what's going to happen? We'll still continue here in the material world, not revive our relationship with him. So the conditioned souls are naturally averse to understanding the spiritual existence of the Lord. And if they try to know the transcendental nature of the Lord's pastimes, while they remain absorbed in materialism, they are sure to blunder like the Sahijas. So it's for our caution. Why? Because we don't want to understand the Lord. We do not want to understand his true position. What is Krishna's actual position? We don't want to understand it. Why? Because the minute we understand it, we will have to accept, yes, I am nothing. I'm an infinitesimal servant of Krishna. Everything belongs to Krishna. It's his property. Nothing's mine. I'm not, if I'm taking something without first offering him gratitude, then I'm stealing. We don't want to accept these things. So we say, I don't want to understand. And then, because we don't want to understand, then we'll still remain in the material world. We are just keeping ourselves away from the most loving person by doing that. So, what are the acharyas telling us? What is the disciplic succession telling us? Hear and chant in the association of devotees. Try to understand through the parampara system, as we are trying to understand here now from Srila Prabhupada. So, hearing and chanting. in the association of devotees. We continue doing that. Are there any questions or comments? I hope it's all okay. So we'll stop here for today. Shri Caitanya Caritamrita ki jai.